All right, guys. Good evening. It's getting late here, and I just wish to complete this video about the formal letter, how to create a professional formal letter. Do you understand? So this very video, what I'm going to focus is formatting this document to make it look very, very professional. Do you understand? All right. So first of all, we need to start with the sender's address, which is our address. All right. So what I'm going to do is to zoom out a bit. You can actually use the slider at the bottom right to to zoom in and out, so you can see the document clearly, or maybe you can zoom out to see the whole of the document. All right. So now what I'm going to do is to select this first. Okay, I think I might need to do a little correction on the names here and maybe some other parts of the document. So here I'm going to select the whole of the business name and make it bold. Do you understand? And but before I proceed, I really do not like the font that is currently in use. So I would love to change the font to a different font. So let's say I want to go with Times New Roman, which is the default font that is used across organizations, even schools as well. All right, so I'm going to do Control A to select everything. Control A is to select all the content on your current document. So I'll do Control A and go to the font group under the Home tab, and you go to the font itself and type in Times. So you don't really need to finish the whole of the letters or the spelling for the Times New Roman font. So you just need to type like 4 or 2 characters, and you should see the overview or like the preview of the name of the font. So you just need to hit enter, and it's automatically applied to the whole of your document since you did Control A. All right, let's proceed to the recipient address, which is the company or the person we are addressing the letter to. So first of all, we need to understand that the first name here is the person we are addressing the letter to, and the one here could be the name of the business, the name of the company, and the address of the company as at the bottom here. All right, so for the person we are addressing to, we could make it bold in as much as the company we are, the name of the company of the person or of the organization, right? Okay, after that, so let's just say we make this one bold, that is it, and we are noticing something between the sender's address and the recipient address. All right. So the sender's address, it looks too scanty, kind of too spacing. So we could make the address come close together. Like before we do that, we select the address and we go to the Home tab. Under the paragraph group, you should see this button called line and paragraph spacing. So hit the drop down arrow and select remove spacing. And as you can see, it is now joined. This is the before, Control Z and Control Y after. You can see it looks more better now. So we apply the same format or same formatting to the recipient address. So we select the text that we want to remove the spacing. We go to the paragraph group under the Home tab, and we hit the line and paragraph spacing and remove the spacing. So this is it for both the sender's address and the recipient address. Now the next thing we want to focus on is the subject of the letter, right? So the subject here is application for the permission to conduct free computer training. I made some corrections recently. It was initially conduction on the previous video, so my apologies for the typo error there. So application for the permission to conduct free computer training. We just put in a random subject, all right? When you want to maybe send a letter for a complaint, a letter for an application, a letter for whatever it is, you always set the body that is the subject of the body should be a subject to whatever the request is. All right. So we're gonna do a selection. I can do shift, which is you hold down shift and look for the end key on your keyboard. It will automatically select the whole of that line. All right. So you could do it another way. You could just click and drag all the way to the very ending like this. Either way that works for you is totally fine. So I want to make this subject bold and increase the font size. So I could use this to increase the font size, and I could use the control key plus the square bracket key to increase the font size. So now I want to make it about 16, right? So this is how I want it. All right, we could zoom out and see how the document looks like at the moment. Not so bad, but looks a bit okay compared to the initial time. All right, so now we are done with the subject. We want to talk about the body of the letter. Now, if you should take a look at the body of the letter, you understand that the left side of this first paragraph looks a bit straightforward, like a bit straightened. Now, to the right side, it looks somehow scattered. And what this will tell you is that the left side is well aligned. So basically, the document or the paragraph currently it is aligned to the left. That is it. You can confirm that from the paragraph group. You should see the commands that are responsible to align left, center, right, and justify. All right. So if you want to confirm or compare the left and the right, you could just select the paragraph that you want to work with, and just like this, and you switch between the center. You can see it is aligned. The center, both the right and the left is not properly straightened. That is why the focus is currently at the center. That's why it's called the center alignment. And for the right, you can see that the left side now is not straightened anymore, but the right is straightened. But if you want to send a professional application, or maybe create a professional um, later, what I would suggest is most of the times your body should be justified, which we're going to talk about the last alignment tool or command that is there. So this justify, what it does is it carries the attribute for the left alignment, the center alignment, and the right alignment all of together meshed together, to create just one kind of alignment, which is called the justify alignment. And the shortcut for it is Ctrl J. For the left is Ctrl L. For the right, Ctrl arrow. And for the center is it's supposed to Ctrl C, but C is already been occupied for copy. So it is Ctrl E instead for centralizing your text. All right. So that is it. So we'll do the same formatting for this other paragraph, which is Ctrl J to justify the whole of the text. Now, if you can see before and see how it looks like now, the document looks a bit more professional at the moment. Now we go to the conclusion aspect of the document, and I could want to print I have two options to attach my signature, to confirm that I am the one to send this document to the recipient. I would want to include my signature so that it will be more official, right? So I have two options to print this document or to add an electronic signature. First of all, like I mentioned, to print it, then I'll manually sign in my signature, right? The other option I have is to use my electronic signature. A signature that is already a soft copy, which is on my phone or on the internet somewhere saved. Do you understand? So that's the two options I have. Now, the one I want to do is the electronic signature. I have my signature on my system, and I would want to input the signature in this document, all right? So before I do that, I want to format my names, including the my position, which is my designation, and also the business name as well, right? So I'm going to include academy here. I think I omitted that one. All right. Now for my designation, I want to make it italic, and to make it italic, all you need to do is to hit Ctrl I on your keyboard, or maybe you just go to the font group. You should find the italicize or the italic command sitting right there waiting for you to make use of it. All right. Now for my business name, what I'm going to do, I will try to make it bold in as much as I kind of want my names to be bold as well. Uh, yeah, but I could want to change the color so it doesn't look so boldy, like so sharp like my name. So here I might want to go to this the font. You can see the names of the command just in case you are using Microsoft Word and you don't know the name of the command you are currently working with. What I would suggest you do is over your cursor at the top of the command, you don't need to click it. Just over the cursor, leave it there. You should see the name. So this is font color, All right, so we click on the drop down and select some colors. So I'm going to select a faint black for the business name. All right, so something like that. So this is before and this is after. Control Y is to redo and Control Z or Z is to undo. All right, so this is how it looks like now at the moment. But then one more thing I want to do is to remove the spacing between um, these sorry, that was a mistake. The spacing between my designation and the business name, I want to remove some spacing, so I need to select the two text that contains the spacing issues. All right, so after selecting it, I need to go to the paragraph group under the home tab. Paragraph group, I'm going to, in a separate video I'll show you what these groups, tabs, ribbons and all of these things. In a separate video I will specialize, I will um, explain it much more better in a separate video, right? So I'm going to go to this line of paragraph spacing and remove space after paragraph. Now you can see before and after, it looks more better now. So now it is time, to insert our signature, right? So I'm going to insert, go to the insert tab. Under the illustrations group, you can see the group. The groups are always at the bottom of each of these tabs. They're actually sectionized, like categorized in sections with these very tiny gray lines you see here, right? So I'm going to, under the illustrations group, I'm going to click on pictures and this PC because it is in my laptop, not an online picture or whatever it is. So I'm going to click on this device and browse through my computer and to pick or select the signature, electronic signature, if I may say, that I have currently on my system, right? So it is this very signature that we're going to be working with. So we're going to insert the signature and bam, you see it just ruined the document. And let's say we zoom out to see the whole content. It looks so scattered now, right? We can work on this because whenever you insert a picture inside the Microsoft Word document, it is actually having a layout format issues. So what you need to do is to select the picture. You see this thing at the top right. It's actually called layer options, all right? So you click on this layer options. What you want to do is, if you feel like you want to move this picture around, like you want to freely move it around, you need to go to the layer options. In this layer options, you see with text wrapping, there are two sections here. With text wrapping, you just go to the very last one at the bottom. You see in front of text. This is what we want. Now, when we click on this, the document will return to normal. So let's try it out. Bam. You see now the signature is directly at the top of our document, so we can easily move it around. So we need to resize it so it fits on the name. So I'm going to say this very, very loud and clear that there are 8 nodes. I'm going to talk about this some other time, but there are 8 nodes. Now, if this node is where we resize an image, a shape, just kind of any kind of object, right, that you insert in your document, there are always 8 nodes to adjust them. Most of the time, some shapes do not have up to 8, but it is really, really what you got to see almost all the time, right? So the 4 corners are where you can easily resize or perfectly, let's say perfectly resize your shape or a picture or anything like an object perfectly, right? So you use either the top right, top left, the bottom left and the bottom right corners to resize it perfectly. So if you want to switch or kind of beyond the image, this is where you go. You go to the centers, all the centers, the 4 centers. It will automatically ruin the structure of your shape or your images, all right? And so please try to focus on the 4 edge, right? The top right, the top left, the bottom right, the bottom left, and the bottom right corners. Anyone is perfect, all right? So you do that and you move it close to the top of the names. So let's zoom out a bit and see how it looks like now. Perfect. So as you can see, it looks like as if I wrote the name or the signature on the top of my name when like a printed document, and I signed at the very top of my name. That is how it looks like now. So this is how it looks like. Now the last thing we're going to do is to save this document, all right? So I'm going to save it in a folder inside my laptop. Now to save it, I need to create a name. that I could use to easily locate the document. And take note, whenever you are saving your document, always take note of the folders where you are keeping the document so you don't start looking for your document. First of all, I would like the document to have the name, application for the permission to conduct free computer training. So I'll copy that and go to the File tab, go to Save As, and you want to browse your laptop. And here I might want to, let's say I want to choose a different folder for it, right? So I could go on my videos, I could save it here, I could go to pictures, I could save it here as well. So let's save it inside this camera rolls under the pictures folder. So now look at the name, this is the file name. I don't need this name, so I'm going to press the backspace button to delete those names. Now I'm going to paste that name I copied initially, right? Now, you really don't want to worry too much about the save as type, because this is the kind of the extension that determines what kind of file you're working on currently, right? So I'm going to leave it as the .docx, which is the default extension for Microsoft Word document, right? So I'm going to leave it so, and what I'm going to be concerned about is to just click on the save button, and don't forget we have it on the pictures and inside the camera rolls folder. So we're going to click save, and bam, the document is saved, and that error that was hanging on the top is out. Now, the next thing we want to do is to export this document as PDF so that we can share it to anybody. You know, Microsoft Word, someone can easily edit it, but PDF is difficult to do that. All right. So what we'll do next is click on the File tab, and you should scroll down to the bottom if you can, in case you can see this button. So what you could do here is to you could just click on the export button, and or sometimes you don't see this export, you might just see more. You click on the more, you should see the export button, right? If you're using the latest or maybe a version that is at like 2016, 2019, 2021, any of these offices, you should be able to see the export button very easily. Right, so we're going to export this, and we're going to click on under the create PDF SPS document. We're going to, use the create SPS button, click on it, and under the same folder, I'm going to uncheck this. Open file after publishing simply means when it's done publishing this document, like saving it to your PC, it will automatically open with your default browser, right? So we don't want this to be done, or let's just leave it unchecked so that I will manually open it myself. So we publish it, and bam, it's saved. So let's open our Windows Explorer, which is the File Explorer, and we go to the Pictures folder, and we enter the Camera Rolls folder as well. And this is the PDF of what we just exported, and this is how it looks like. So beautiful, man, so perfect. And what we could do here is sending it to the recipient, maybe via email, maybe via WhatsApp, or maybe via any form of the sending preference of the organization, right? So this is it for this video. In the upcoming videos, we're going to be talking more about the tools that or how to navigate around Microsoft Word, how to learn the ribbons, the commands, the groups, and all of those things, right? And we're going to dive deeper into mastering Microsoft Word. So just in case is this your first time coming across my videos, I would love to get your feedback, maybe a comment. You can like, and you can also share to your friends, to for them to learn as well, right? So for now, this will be all for now. So I hope to see you guys in the next videos, and I hope you enjoyed this video and it was educative enough for you. All right, so see you in the next one. All right, bye.